To Serena Vex, High Inquisitor of the Thoughtbound, there hadn't been a crack in her fortress for decades. She'd interrogated warlords, dissected human generals, and pried secrets from the most fortified minds in the galaxy. Her species, the Varanthii, were unrivaled psionics, natural telepaths born to dominate. Emotionally cold, long-lived, and surgically analytical, Serena had not felt surprise since her early trials, let alone anything close to awe. Then she met the human prisoner. It had been a simple sweep of Sector J-29. Human resistance had flared again on the barren world of Drosis, and the Varanthii had sent cleansing squadrons to snuff out the last embers. Their plan had worked. All were captured or terminated. All but one. The human had surrendered voluntarily. No armor, no weapons. He walked into the Varanthii firebase with hands raised and a quiet defiance in his eyes. He said nothing as they restrained him. When questioned, he gave only his name. Captain Elias Rohn. Serial 498 Delta. They scanned his mind. Found only static. That alone should have been impossible. Serena stood before the observation pane, watching Elias as he sat motionless in the sterile chamber. He hadn't spoken for days. He neither slept nor raged. The scientists had tried everything: sensory deprivation, sleep inducement, truth chemicals. Nothing cracked him. His file suggests no enhancements, murmured Attendant Vrel beside her. But we suspect anti-psionic training. Perhaps a new resistance technology. No, Serena said coolly. There is no technology. This is his mind. Shielded not by force, but by shape. She entered the chamber alone. Elias looked up as the door sealed. No hostility, no fear. Just a calm curiosity. Hello again, he said. His voice was warm, tired but unafraid. You know who I am, she asked. Not by name. But the others spoke of you. The Mind Ripper. Thoughtbreaker. The one they send when resistance is too deep. She stepped closer. You will not resist me, she said. I will see your truth. Elias leaned back slightly, folding his hands behind his head. Then by all means, Serena. Take a look. She touched her fingers to his temple and entered. What she expected. A fortress of discipline. Mental walls. Military compartmentalization. Frick. What she found, a garden. It was sprawling, intricate. Too vast to be real. Every emotion was a living thing. Memories wove together like vines. Some joyful, some tragic, but all brimming with color. A child's laughter echoed through one corridor, while in another a quiet moment played. Elias reading under an old tree as autumn leaves fell. Somewhere deeper, pain echoed. A friend's death, a shattered love, but it wasn't hidden or blocked. It was embraced. Serena recoiled from the depth. But Elias's voice met her inside his own mind. Beautiful, isn't it? Not the events themselves, but that they happened. She tried to push deeper, to grasp his military secrets, but they slipped through her fingers. Not because they were shielded, but because he didn't fixate on them. They were just moments among countless others. Tactical data didn't define him. Wonder did. And then she found it. Memory. Not of war or loss, but of a simple night sky. A boy staring upward, breath catching at the sight of a comet across the stars. That unfiltered awe, raw, unsynthesized and soul-wrenching, hit her like a physical blow. Serena staggered back, eyes wide, breath stolen. For the first time in 80 years. She wept. She didn't report the session. Instead, she returned each day. Officially, she logged it as extended extraction efforts. Unofficially, she sought something she couldn't name. She stopped pressing for secrets. Instead she walked through his memories, listened to the echoes of his life. One day, Elias smiled at her. "Do you understand now?" he asked. "I do not," she admitted, hating the tremor in her voice. "Your mind is open. Too open. How are you not broken?" "I was once," he said softly. "Everyone breaks. The trick is what you do after. Your people, your wars, they burn everything they touch." "We feel too much," he admitted. "But we heal, Serena. That's what makes us dangerous." She began asking questions. Not about tactics but about why. Why humans laughed even after loss. Why they wrote music in war zones. Why a species so fragile had clawed its way into the stars with poetry as often as with steel. He told her of Earth, its oceans, its art, its madness. He spoke of Maya, the woman he had loved, who had died on a distant moon defending civilians. "She wasn't a soldier," he said, eyes distant. "Just a nurse. But she picked up a rifle when she had to. She died needlessly." "No," Elias said. "She chose something greater than herself. That's never needless." Serena found herself watching him sleep, trying to understand how such a fragile mind could hold such unbearable weight and still shine. One day, she confessed, "I felt nothing in over half a century." "That's not true," Elias said. "You wept. I was exposed. You were moved." They stopped locking his cell. He stayed anyway. Even when her superiors demanded updates, even when extraction pressure grew, Elias remained unchained. She no longer interrogated him. They shared meals. She taught him Varanthii history. He taught her Earth's myths. They laughed. Not often, but truly. One night, he gave her a folded square of thin material. "What is this?" she asked. "Paper. Synthetic. I made it from the meal wrappers." She unfolded it slowly. A drawing. Two silhouettes, hers and his, standing under stars. "I remember your comet," he said. "Thought you might want to keep it." Serena clutched it to her chest. Then came the order. "Terminate the subject. Useless. Resistance flares again in J29. No more delays." She stared at the message for a long time. In her mind, she saw that boy beneath the stars. She made her choice. The facility burned. A containment breach, the reports claimed. Biohazard release. Most assumed Elias died with it. But Serena escaped, taking only her cloak, a pulse pistol, and the human who had undone her. They disappeared into the stars. Years passed. Across the outer sectors, rumors spread of a renegade Varanthii and her human companion, freeing captives, sabotaging mind-ripper outposts, planting hope like seeds in burned ground. Serena changed. Not quickly, but deeply. She learned music, learned silence, learned how to sit by a fire and let her mind drift without agenda. She kissed Elias once on a frozen moonlit ridge, and for the first time in her life, felt her own heartbeat. One night, after a mission, Elias asked, "Do you still fear the unknown?" She looked at him. "No," she said. "The unknown gave me you." Epilogue. When the Varanthii Empire finally collapsed, overwhelmed by rebellion and rot, Serena didn't return to claim power. She and Elias built a sanctuary on the ruins of an old mining world, where former enemies came to rest and heal. She became a teacher. When asked why she had turned against her kind, she told a simple story of a man with stars in his eyes, and a mind that made even a cold inquisitor weep.